options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Coverage of our Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is brought to you by the following sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience with locations in Hudson and on Main Street here in Milford. Rentschler Biopharma, sponsor of our broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma transforms innovative ideas into life-saving biopharmaceuticals. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And Unibank, big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Serving the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street inside the Shaw's Plaza.
Batting sixth, number 9, the right fielder, Matthew Elves. Batting seventh, number 7, second baseman, Braden Biondo. Batting eighth, number 16, playing left field, Patrick Shillelagh. Batting ninth, number 5, the catcher, Jacob Gerardo. The head coach of Cherry Valley is Jim Stevens, assisted by Corey Coleman and Evan Remington. And now for the Milford starting lineup. Leading off for Milford, number 2, playing second base, Sam Schoenberg. Batting second, number 13, playing left field, Nick Pedroli. Batting third, number 7, at third base, Braden Lewis. Batting fourth, number 11, the designated hitter, Jackson Fournier. Batting fifth, number 8, in right field, Josh Bouchard. Batting sixth, number 14, at first base, Sean Burchard. Batting seventh, number 5, shortstop, Joey McGee. Batting eighth, number 6, the catcher, Nolan Murray. Batting ninth, number 20, in center field, Ben Majorano. And on the mound for Milford, number 17, the pitcher, Brady Wajda. The head coach of the Milford Legion team is Steve DeVito, assisted by Steve Matos, Brendan Wynn, Eric Cormier, and Kenny McDonald. The game day coordinator is Brett Crosby, and the bench assistant is Doug Wilkie. Our bat boy tonight is Chase Bonasaro Doucette. And now I turn you over to the president of Milford Legion, Cindy Stulak.
It's my privilege to welcome all of you to the opening of Pheno for a year of 2026. In July of 2025, American Legion Baseball celebrated 100 years. Playing American Legion gives our youth an opportunity for a thorough understanding of the true value and meaning of Americanism. It was organized to teach sportsmanship and citizenship by emphasizing loyalty, respect for the rules, fair play, courage, and physical fitness. More than 10 million have played Legion ball. 87 members of the Baseball's Hall of Fame, including war heroes Yogi Berra and Ted Williams. More than 50,000 young men and women continue to play today across the country. And believe it or not, 55% of Major League Baseball players played Legion as teenagers. In 2029, Milford will celebrate 100 years of American Legion Baseball. Our record, 3 national championship bids, 11 state More than 1,000 have worn the Milford uniform. It's an impressive record, but in Milford, we go above and beyond baseball. In Milford, it's about pride, tradition, and honor, and it's about preserving our amazing community legacy. To our players, both post 59 and post 443, congratulations on being selected into this respected organization, and I wish you all a successful season of competitive ball. To everyone else here tonight, my heartfelt thanks in helping us preserve this amazing community legacy. It's my honor to welcome in our 2026 season. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are able, I ask you to please stand and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, we have the honor of having Dacia Biello. Dacia is 11 years old and has been connecting with audiences since she was 2. She recently placed 5 out of 6 categories at the ATM New England Music Festival, and in her spare time fundraises for the Shriners Hospital for Children. I am so proud that Dacia's first national anthem performance was right here for American Legion Baseball in 2024 when she was only 9 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Dacia Biello. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's bright glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Now I'd like to introduce to you Midori Donovan to throw out our first pitch. Midori is a retired logistics specialist first class who served in the Navy Reserves for 22 years. She's current commander of Milford Sergeant John W. Powers Post 59 and is an active member with other Massachusetts veterans and has been serving in positions at the local, state, and national level. She joined the Milford Legion Baseball Board of Directors in 2023. Let's do this. Play ball.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Pheno Field here in Milford, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Milford Legion Baseball. Milford TV Executive Director here with you on the call as we bring you the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma Broadcast Booth. Rentschler Biopharma is a global contract development and manufacturing organization. They specialize in biopharmaceuticals and advanced therapies. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. As we turn the page from the high school sports season for 25-26, we now bring you the Milford Legion baseball season, which is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience specializing in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads. It's an inviting atmosphere for the whole family to enjoy. You can check them out at 2 District 4 Legion baseball locations in Hudson and, of course, right here in Milford. So happy to be with you on this warm spring night. Temperatures for much of the day today in the 90s. It's cooled down, if you want to call it that, to a balmy 86 degrees as we get underway here for the 2026 home opener for Milford Legion Baseball. It is the second game overall on the season for Post 59. They come into play today 1-0 on the season, having earned a big 16-0 statement victory over Northborough in their first game of the season on the road. They take on Cherry Valley post 4:43 this evening. Cherry Valley playing in their 2026 season debut here at Pheno tonight, so they do not have a record. And their leadoff batter, Jeffrey Guzman, striding to the plate. Let's quickly bring you the Cherry Valley starting lineup. It is Guzman leading it off at short. Andrew Cloutier is the third baseman batting second, with Nolan Remington, the starting pitcher, batting third. Ramon Romero is the cleanup hitter, playing first base, with Andrew Lancette, the center fielder, batting fifth. Matthew Alves plays right field and bats sixth, with Braden Biondo, the second baseman, batting seventh. Patrick Shillelagh plays left field and bats eighth, with Jacob Gerardo catching and batting ninth. And these Cherry Valley hitters will take their swings this evening against Brady Wajda out of Hopedale High School, making his Legion baseball debut. And the first pitch of the game into Jeffrey Guzman is lifted out into shallow left center field, and that is going to drop in front of the outfield. And one pitch into this game, Guzman has himself a leadoff base hit. We want to welcome all of our live viewers tuned in to our coverage tonight. Whether you're joining us locally on our Milford TV educational channel, our Verizon high definition channel, or streaming on YouTube, so happy to be live with you here on this Thursday night. So runner on with nobody out in this top of the first inning, and the first pitch into Andrew Cloutier misses high. Milford had the bats going in a big way in that game against Northborough on Tuesday of this week. As the pitch is in for a strike. I actually believe that game was Monday, so my apologies. I think there was some last-minute shuffling around of the Legion schedule, but this home opener staying intact here on this Thursday evening. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Cloutier playing third base. Second baseman cheating in as this ball comes over towards the right side. Schoenberg adjusts, flips it over to first base to get the out there on the play. Guzman able to advance to second base with now one down in the inning. Let's bring you the Milford defense. It is Nolan Murray behind the plate, Braden Lewis at third, Joey McGee at short, Sam Schoenberg at second, and Sean Burchard at first. Left to right in the outfield, Nick Pedroli, Ben Majorano, and Josh Bouchard. Cherry Valley now with a runner in scoring position, who will take a dive back to the second base bag on a bluff from Wajda. We had a chance to see Wajda in action for the Hopedale Blue Raiders as we covered the annual Milford versus Hopedale Senior Night game here at Pheno Field last month. Wajda played first base in that game. We didn't see him on the mound. Ready to deliver an 0-1 pitch to his counterpart in this game tonight, Nolan Remington. He fouls it away at home plate. The count quickly goes to 0-2, and meanwhile, timeout on the field as that foul ball ended up eating up the Milford catcher Nolan Murray, and he is in some pain. Coach DeVito out to check on him. Coach DeVito back at the helm of this post-59 squad. The longtime head coach, now in his 12th season leading this Legion program. The full coaching staff for Milford for 2026. Eric Cormier is the pitching coach. Assistant coaches on the staff are Brendan Wynn, Steve Mados, Ken McDonald, and Derek Johnson. The bench assistant is Doug Wilkie, and the game day coordinator, of course, is Brett Crosby. The head coach for Cherry Valley Post 443 is Jim Stevens, another longtime Legion head coach. He has been at the helm of this Cherry Valley program for as long as I've been covering Legion baseball, which dates back to the 2012 season. So he has been a part of this program for a long time. Still in an injury timeout here as Murray now getting some water as he tries to shake off the cobwebs as that foul ball did a number on the Milford catcher. The catching position is one with the biggest turnover for Milford this season, and the biggest turnover in quite a long time. Milford had the tandem of Keith Lee and Jack Krause behind the plate for several seasons. Both of those players now moving on, no longer Legion eligible, so they've got some new personnel behind the plate this season, and Murray getting the nod here in this home opener. Back to his feet now. He gets a round of applause from the crowd as it looks like he'll be good to continue here, trying to flex out the legs. And Coach DeVito satisfied that his backstop is okay to go, and so we'll settle back in here in this top of the first inning. Jeffrey Guzman is the runner at second base for Cherry Valley with one out in the inning. It's a no-ball, two-strike count on the lanky right-hander in the batter's box, Nolan Remington. Look to second, and now the pitch, and a defensive swing. Remington able to foul it, rolls off towards the backstop. 7 pitches so far in this top of the first inning for Wajda. Being mindful of that runner at second base. Here's the pitch, and it's looped over towards third base. Waiting for it there is Lewis. Sends it across the diamond. Good, strong throw. Gets the out there. Guzman held up at second base, and so he remains there now with 2 down. 5-3 on the ground out. A mix of returning players and new faces on this 2026 Legion roster. In total, 10 returning players. 8 first-time post-59 players on this roster, as now the cleanup man, Ramon Romero, steps in on the right side. He takes a pitch that misses for ball 1. Now too much time taken. It's been a bit of a deliberate pace here for Wajda as he's had that runner on base throughout this top of the first inning. Romero now settles back in. 1-0 pitch, and that misses outside. Murray trying to frame it on that outside corner, but couldn't buy the call. A good crowd forming here at Fino Field. A lot of fans in the stands, and as always, down in front of the concession stand area. 2-0 pitch, and Romero aggressively going after that elevated fastball. He was late on the cut, and the count goes to 2-1. The lead at second base for Guzman. The 2-1 offering is golfed foul. And so Romero jumping ahead, 2 balls and no strikes, but since then has lost his feel for the strike zone. He's swung at a couple of pitches out of the zone. 2-2 now, and that is in the dirt. That runs the count full. Again, Guzman walking out to a lead at second base. The payoff pitch now from Wajda is down and away for ball 4.
Coming to the plate, number 11, center fielder.
So a hit and now a walk in the inning puts runners at first and second base and gives Andrew Lancette a chance to bat in the inning. First pitch from Wajda, and again can't locate on that outside edge. And falling behind a lot of these batters throughout the first inning. And now able to find the corner. Gets the call and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bit of an overcast sky here as we get into the evening hours. Lights are not on yet here at Pheno. As that pitch bounces out of Murray's glove, but it hits the zone and brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wajda trying to shut down this inning here. He's got some traffic on the bases. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it's lifted in the air foul. That will wind its way over the first base dugout and out of play. Starting to take a look around the ballpark here. It's our first time here for the Legion season. We were here throughout the spring for high school baseball. Looks like the field has definitely gotten a refresh for the Legion season. As the 1-2 pitch misses down and away. Nice backhanded grab for Nolan Murray, who has had an adventurous inning here in the top of the first. Fresh coat of paint on the first and third base dugouts. As always, Pheno looking great. 2-2 pitch now, and that is upstairs. And another full count. The runners will have a chance to get a head start here. A 20-pitch inning for Brady Wajda in the top of the first. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Reared back, delivered a fastball, and got it past Lancette's bat. First strikeout in the game for Wajda, and it shuts things down here in the top of the first inning. So Cherry Valley able to get 2 runners aboard, but they cannot score. Post 59 will take their first swings of the game when we come back after this. Stay tuned to the coverage of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV. It's presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Let's bring you the Milford starting lineup now as we begin the bottom half of the first inning. Leading it off is the second baseman, Sam Schoenberg. Nick Pedroli plays left field and bats second, with Braden Lewis, the third baseman, batting third. Jackson Fournier is the DH in the cleanup spot, with Josh Bouchard, the right fielder, batting fifth. Sean Burchard plays first base and bats sixth, with Joey McGee, the shortstop, batting seventh. Nolan Murray catches and bats eighth, and in the ninth spot playing center field is Ben Majorano. Schoenberg, one of the returning faces on this Legion team. He jumps ahead in the count here. 2 balls and no strikes against the Cherry Valley starter, Nolan Remington. Now deals in a strike. Schoenberg was absolutely on fire with the bat through the first half of the Legion season last year. Tailed off a little bit in the second half of the season, but was putting up otherworldly numbers, as was Braden Lewis. Those two were an incredible hitting tandem in this lineup throughout a 2025 year that saw Milford with a perfect record against their post-59 opponents, their District 4 opponents, I should say, throughout the regular season. The postseason was a different story. That's something that we can get into a little bit more as the broadcast goes along, but Milford certainly coming off of a dominant year in the regular season in 2025, as Schoenberg now sends a bouncing ball back up the middle. It's fielded there by the shortstop, and a good throw to first base. Nice sliding play over at first for Romero. Good stretch.
That brings up number 13.
And so a 6-3 ground out for Schoenberg in this bottom of the first inning. Let's bring you the Cherry Valley defense now. It is Jacob Gerardo behind the plate, Andrew Cloutier at third, Jeffrey Guzman at short, Braden Biondo at second, and Ramon Romero at first. Left to right in the outfield, Patrick Shillelagh, Andrew Lancette, and Matthew Alves. As Nick Pedroli swings at the first pitch and lofts it foul out of play down the right side. Pedroli, another returning face. Top 3 hitters in this lineup, all returners for post-59. New Navy uniform top for post-59 for this new season. The ball eludes the grasp of Gerardo, rolls to the backstop. Braden Lewis will collect the loose ball and toss it back over to the first base dugout. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the left-hander Pedroli, who now sends a hard ground ball towards second. Rangy play for Biondo, and throws to first base off target. It pulled Romero off the bag. He kept it on the infield, and that keeps Pedroli at first base.
The third baseman, Braden Lewis.
Not a routine play necessarily for Biondo, so we'll put it in our books for now as an infield single. We'll see on Game Changer how the team officially scores that play for Pedroli, but nonetheless he is aboard at first base, and now here is Braden Lewis, inserted in this number 3 spot in the lineup, as the pickoff throw from Remington goes completely off the playing surface, so that will give Pedroli a free trip down to second base. And so certainly an error there on the pitcher on a wild throw over to first base. Runner in scoring position here quickly for post-59. As the pitch is in the dirt, blocked by the catcher. It rolls a bit down the first base line, but no advance for Pedroli. And they did rule it an infield single for Pedroli. As now again the pitch is wild. It goes to the backstop, and Pedroli now will jog over to third base. So an infield single, an errant pickoff throw, and now a wild pitch gifts Milford a runner at third base with 1 out in the inning. And meanwhile, a 2-ball, no-strike count on Braden Lewis. An off-speed pitch comes inside. That glanced off the catcher's gear. Now the runner coming to the plate, and Pedroli with the feet-first slide in just ahead of the tag. as the catcher went back to get that ball, tossed it into the pitcher covering, but it was not in time. That was a strange pitch as it came in, and it either hit off the umpire's gear or the catcher's gear, rolled behind the plate. And so Milford gets a run on very little of their own doing. They take a 1-0 lead. As the count now stands at 3 balls and a strike on Lewis. Lays off that pitch that comes too far inside, and Lewis now will work the walk.
Now batting number 11, the designated hitter, Jackson.
So it goes in the books as a pass ball that allowed Pedroli to score. And now Lewis with the walk, so he is at first base. And our first look at Jackson Fournier, who comes to post 59 this season via St. John's of Shrewsbury, though he is a Milford resident. Milford with a couple of students from St. John's of Shrewsbury that are new to the team this season, including Fournier, who is a Milford resident, and Josh Bouchard in the lineup tonight. Bouchard is from Blackstone as Lewis takes off for second base. He gets in safely with the steal. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, and eventually Fournier strikes out, so that brings the second out of the inning. Working out some of the kinks here on our first Legion broadcast of the season, as meanwhile Remington lofts a very lazy throw down to second base. It pops off the second baseman's mitt, rolls out into center field. Lewis is going to come all the way around from second base to score. Remington briefly down in a crouch in front of the pitcher's mound. It was just a sort of lollipop throw to second base to check in on the runner. Threw it over the reach of Biondo at second base, rolled out into center field, and with Lewis's speed, he was able to come all the way around from second base to score. And so Cherry Valley not doing themselves any favors in this bottom of the first inning, allowing now a second run for post 59. They lead it now 2-0. So it'll be the second throwing error of the inning on Nolan Remington. A pass ball giving Milford their first run, an error on a throw to second base giving them their second. And so the bases are now empty as a called strike is dealt into Josh Bouchard. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Just referencing Bouchard, resident of Blackstone and a student at St. John's of Shrewsbury, just graduated with the class of 2026. So some of the first-time Legion players factoring into the starting lineup here on the home opener, immersed in this Milford Legion tradition. Big cut that time from Bouchard. Selling out on the 3-1 pitch. Doesn't make contact, so now the count is full. Bases are empty now with 2 outs in the inning, and the pitch from Remington is lofted in the air out to right center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. A turnaround first base for Bouchard, but he will hold there with a 2-out single. First time in the inning, Milford's gotten the ball to the outfield. It's their second hit in the frame. And so now here is Sean Burchard. As he takes a pitch inside, skips away from the catcher, and this will allow Bouchard to move into scoring position at second base. And this has been a rough start to the game for Nolan Remington. Two wild pitches to go along with two throwing errors. Bouchard now trying to settle back in on the left side. Remington backs off. Now he settles in. Here is the 1-0 pitch. And it misses inside for ball 2. Burchard just graduating over at Nipmuc High School, class of 2026. As he takes another pitch inside. Remington trying to work the left-hander on that inside edge, but the command has not been there. Now the 3-0 offering, and that is inside for ball 4. Second walk of the inning. So 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks for Milford in this inning, as now the coaching staff talking things over with Remington, who's had some not great body language as this first inning has gone along. He's just seemed a little out of sorts. Obviously, very hot day today, a lot hotter than you would expect it to be for these very early days of the Legion season.
Now batting number 5, shortstop, Joey McGee.
He'll stay out there trying to get things back on track as he will face his 7th batter of the inning. It is the recent Scarlet Hawk graduate, Joey McGee. So great to see Joey in the Milford Legion uniform again after missing last season with injury. Jumps ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. McGee was back healthy for the high school baseball season as well. Unfortunately, the season did not go the way the Milford Scarlet Hawks would have liked. A long losing streak through the middle of the season really took away any chance at a playoff push for the Scarlet Hawks. They ended up missing the playoffs after making deep playoff runs the previous several seasons. So one more chance for these Milford fans to see Joey play here at Pheno. 2-1 offering now to McGee. That just misses, not by much. The count goes to 3-1. Not much breeze blowing here at Pheno. As this ball is hit hard to third base, it's smothered there by Cloutier. He will carry it to the third base bag for the force play that ends the inning. So in the end, Remington able to limit the damage to just 2 runs allowed. And so after 1 full inning of play, it is Milford 2, Cherry Valley nothing. We'll move on to the second inning when we return next as we bring it to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma Broadcast Booth. Coverage of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Score at the end of the first inning, Milford 2, Cherry Valley 0.
Matthew Alves will lead off the top of the second inning for Cherry Valley as they now trail in the game 2-0. Brady Wajda now pitching with a lead, deals a strike at the knees. Lefty versus righty matchup, as now this pitch has popped up over in foul territory behind third base. Lewis gives it a look, but that is out of play. Oh, 2 pitch for Wajda is swung on and missed. So strikeout to end the first inning, now opens up the second inning with a K. 1 up and 1 down in the inning. For all of our Milford Scarlet Hawks fans tuned in to the broadcast tonight, again, we're so thrilled to be live with our coverage once again. For anyone who had been looking for our boys volleyball Final Four coverage on Tuesday night of this week, we were regrettably unable to bring you that coverage live on Tuesday night due to some major internet complications that existed within Hopkinton High School. But that was the neutral site for that game, and we really do apologize for not being able to bring that live coverage. I can assure you it was not for lack of trying. We were there for several hours trying to troubleshoot the situation, as Wajda, meanwhile, makes quick work of Braden Biondo, gets him looking, and all of a sudden, Wajda looks like he has settled in this second inning. 2 quick outs, both by way of the K. And now he'll deal with the left fielder, Patrick Shillelagh. And now a fastball uncorked high for ball 1. So just to close the book on that volleyball coverage, we do now have the recorded coverage available across our Milford TV platforms, including on our YouTube channel. So if you want to look back on that, what turned out to be the final game of the year for the Milford boys volleyball team, you can check that out over on our YouTube channel. 2-0 now, the count on Shillelagh as he swings wildly at that pitch to bring the count to 2-1. 30 pitches now through an inning and 2/3 for Wajda. And dots that one on the inside corner for a called strike 2. Can hear Wajda's pitches really popping Murray's mitt, showing good velocity. He's ready now with a 2-2 pitch. And it's looped foul over the bleachers and out of play over on the right side. Lights now starting to come on here at Pheno Field. Still sunshine off in the distance as the 2-2 pitch is swatted foul on a really defensive swing for Patrick Shillelagh. Bases are empty in the top of the second. A 2-ball, 2-strike count now on Shillelagh. Here's the pitch. And it's sent down the third base line. That stays in fair territory. Lewis sets his feet and fires a missile over to first base. Lewis has shown off a tremendous throwing arm on his chances early in this game. He gets Shillelagh for the out as Cherry Valley sees the side retired in order in this top of the second inning. Still a 2-0 lead for Milford as we'll move on to the bottom half of the second inning when we return next here on Milford TV.
Now for our diamond partners, Italian-American Veterans Pope, Milford Police Association, Murphy Insurance Agency, Science Plus, Sons of Italy Dramatic Sportsman's Club, Unibank. We thank you for your generous support to Milford Legion Baseball. Nolan Murray.
Coverage of Milford Legion baseball on Milford TV is brought to you in part by Unibank. Big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Unibank serving the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street right inside the Shaw's Plaza. Returning now for the bottom half of the second inning, Milford will have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up against the Cherry Valley starter Nolan Remington. And that pitch must have just grazed the uniform of Nolan Murray. Murray, who has already taken a beating in this game, took a vicious foul ball behind the plate in the top of the first. That was much more gentle contact. And meanwhile, it looks like we'll get a courtesy runner at first base for Murray. They'll bring Adam Dubowick, the Nipmuc product, out from the dugout to run for Murray. Don't see that a whole lot in Legion. And now this pitch is going to grab a much bigger piece of Ben Majorano. That sounded like it got him right on the wrist, though he might have had some protection there the way that that ball sounded. And he doesn't seem to be in too much pain down at first base, but the wildness has not gotten any better for Remington as he hits the first 2 batters he faces in this top of the second inning, the 8 and 9 hitters. So runners at first and second now, as Sam Schoenberg will already have his second at bat of the game. He takes one down and away, and right now these Milford hitters, no reason to swing early in counts. Going to make Remington prove that he can find the strike zone. He has really struggled. Schoenberg swinging away here, sends a bouncer to second base. They get the out at second. It was a bit of a tough feed from Biendo to the shortstop Guzman covering the bag, and so they only get 1 out in the exchange. They get Majorano. Schoenberg reaches safely at first base on a fielder's choice as the courtesy runner Dubowick advances to third. So it's runners at the corners now for post 59, 1 out in the inning. And Nick Pedroli will stand in on the left side. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Runner takes off for second base as the throw comes right back to the pitcher's mound. No advance for Dubowick at third. He didn't fall for that bluff throw. So Schoenberg with the uncontested steal of second base puts 2 in scoring position now for post 59. And an 0-2 pitch to Pedroli is hit hard, and that's going to make its way through the right side for a base hit. Dubowick scores. Schoenberg rounding third base. The throw into the plate is offline as Schoenberg will score. Pedroli will wind up at second base as Milford will take a 4-0 lead. So the first runs produced via a hit for post 59 in this game. It's a 2-run single for Pedroli. He takes second base on the throw into the plate. And so now the lone runner is at second base as Cherry Valley head coach Jim Stevens comes back out of the dugout. And looking like this might be an early exit for Remington. We'll see. Right now, a conversation. And so it looks like for right now, they may stick with Remington. We'll see here. now Remington sort of backpedaling off the mound. The entire infield involved in an extended conversation here. And so it looks like we'll have some position carousel going on here as this bottom of the second inning continues, as it appears that the second baseman, Braden Biondo, will take over now on the mound. So we'll try to see where everyone else settles down position-wise. So Remington lasts just an inning and a third, as it turns out. Allows 4 runs on 3 hits. He walked 2, hit 2, had 1 strikeout, and is still responsible for Nick Pedroli at second base. Remington will remain in the game, still sort of wandering around towards the shortstop position, so we'll wait to see where everyone settles in at their positions after Biondo finishes his warm-up tosses. Biondo, one of the returning players for Cherry Valley. They have 8 players returning to their roster again from last season, including Aiden Cook, Braden Biondo, Andrew Lancette, Jamison Wood, Andrew Cloutier, Alex Morales, Landon Coleman, and Nolan Remington.
Now on the mound for Cherry Valley, number 7, Braden Biondo.
And so it looks like Cloutier will remain at third. Remington now takes over at shortstop. And so Guzman shifting over to second base, as this ball is immediately hit out into left field. It's down for a base hit. Pedroli hits third base, turns around, and he scores, as Braden Lewis will wind up at second base with an RBI double. And so the very first pitch of the game for the relief pitcher, Braden Biondo, is an RBI double. The run will be charged to Nolan Remington, so you can now close the book on the Cherry Valley starter. Braden Lewis takes off for third base. He was there well ahead of the throw, which is wild. It will travel out into left field, and Lewis will score. So the bases are now empty. As it is now a 6-0 lead. They haven't updated the scoreboard here at the field quite yet, but it's been a 4-run inning so far here in the second. And a swing and a miss now from Jackson Fournier. DeBowick, Schoenberg, Pedroli, and Lewis all scoring so far in this inning, as Fournier sends a high fly ball out to left field. Shillelagh eventually settles underneath it to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Fournier now 0 for 2. And so now with the bases empty and 2 down, Josh Bouchard will take his second at bat of the game. Milford sent 7 batters to the plate in the first inning, and they will send at least 7 batters to the plate here in the second, as Bouchard takes a pitch sky high for ball 1. Milford already putting up a ton of runs right at the outset of this Legion season, as now this ball is hammered out into center field, but there is room out there for Andrew Lancette to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. But another productive one for Post 59 as they score 4 times. And they now take a 6-0 lead over Cherry Valley as we will transition to the 3rd inning. When we return next, it all comes to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma Broadcast Booth. Stay tuned to this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball right here on Milford TV.
Cherry Valley in the top of the 3rd inning with Milford leading by
An even bigger lead for Brady Watchta to work with as he enters into his 3rd inning of work on the mound. A foul ball sent out of play from the number 9 hitter, Jacob Gerardo, Cherry Valley catcher. A swing and a foul tip into Nolan Murray's mitt. That pitch misses a little bit low and outside. We'll start to share with you some of our remaining broadcast schedule of Milford Legion games on this season as the game goes along. This ball flared out to shallow right field. Second baseman Sam Schoenberg covering a lot of ground, making a stylish catch out in the shallow right field grass.
That brings up number 3, the shortstop.
And the leadoff batter is retired. We'll have featured coverage of home games throughout this 2026 season. We also have intentions of covering all of Milford's games in the 2026 state tournament, as of course Fino Field will play host to the Massachusetts Legion State Tournament once again, the first time in several seasons. So thrilled to have the state tournament back here at Fino Field, and you can count on our live coverage for all of Milford's games throughout that Legion State Tournament. Should be a fun time. That'll come your way later in the month of July. Just in the 2nd game of this 2026 regular season. A 1-ball, 1-strike count now to Jeffrey Guzman, who now pops it up. Should stay on the field as Murray goes over to the warning track right in front of the first base dugout. Could not squeeze that ball. And so a second life for Guzman. One ball and 2 strikes now, the count on Guzman as we go 2nd time through the Cherry Valley order now. Guzman has the only Cherry Valley hit so far in the game. He led off the game with a base hit. As the count goes to 2-2. Watch the kick and the pitch, and it's popped up again. This ball will make its way clean off the playing surface this time, as the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now off the end of the bat, this one's sent down the right field side into foul territory. Long run for Josh Bouchard, but he gets there to make the catch. And Milford has made some excellent defensive plays for the first 2 outs in this inning. First Schoenberg, and now it's Josh Bouchard. And now there are 2 outs in this top of the 3rd inning. So now here is Andrew Cloutier, 0 for 1 so far in the game with a ground out. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. 45 pitches now in the outing for Brady Wajda. In his Legion Baseball debut, tries to paint the inside corner, and again, a nice frame job for Murray, but does not get the call. And now 3 balls and no strikes. Cloutier looking to extend this inning for post 443. Next one on the way, and Cloutier was taking all the way. Takes a called strike. The 3-1 offering now, and that is high for ball 4. So a little bout of wildness for Wajda as he surrenders his second walk of the game.
Coming to the plate, number 20, Nolan Remington.
And that will give Nolan Remington a chance to bat in the inning. Remington now the shortstop for Cherry Valley after leaving the mound after pitching just an inning and a third. Remington's so tall he can't quite keep that jersey tucked in. Now hits a hard ground ball deep in the hole at shortstop. And a terrific play for Joey McGee. How many times have we seen rangy plays like that from McGee on this field? Able to get to that ball and sends a nice strong throw across his body to first base to get the out that retires the side. Cherry Valley strands a runner, and we will move on to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It remains Milford 6 and Cherry Valley nothing. On this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on Milford TV, it's presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Carleo Floor Covering, Classic Pizza, Consigli Construction, Consigli and Brucato PC, Dean Bank, Hoboken Club, Home Depot, Middlesex Savings Bank, Milford Federal Bank, Milford Permanent Firefighters, Nelly Sandwich Shop, R.H. Long Cadillac, Sergeant John Powers Post 59, Shining Rock Golf Club, Tri-Valley Sports, and lastly, Wareham Village Funeral Home. We thank you for your generous support to our Milford Legion Baseball.
Off of Milford in the bottom of the 3rd inning, number 14, first baseman, Sean Burchard.
Home half of the third inning as Sean Burchard takes a look at a first pitch strike. He'll be followed by Joey McGee and Nolan Murray in the inning. Braden Biondo, who came on to finish off the second inning, now out for his first full inning of relief. Biondo ended up allowing the RBI double to Braden Lewis, which brought in an inherited runner to score, but was able to get out of that second inning from there with flyouts out of Fournier and Bouchard. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Sean Burchard, who walked in his first plate appearance. Now lifts this ball out towards left field, jogging in a couple of steps now a little bit to his left. Shillelagh is able to haul it in for out number 1.
That brings up number 5, the shortstop, Joey McGee.
So 1 out and the base is empty. As Joey McGee will take his second at bat of the game. And has to duck out of the way of that first pitch for ball 1. So we will be featuring at least one game a week at home for Post 59 throughout the duration of this regular season. As of right now, we'll be back here on Monday next week, June 15th, to get our first look at the new addition to District 4 this season, Vernon Hill. As the count goes to 3-0 on Joey McGee. We'll also be out on Tuesday, June 23rd, to cover Post 59 taking on Northborough Post 234. As McGee takes a strike. And then we'll have a couple of games as we wrap around the end of June, beginning of July. Monday the 29th, we'll be here for Post 59 taking on Northbridge, as well as the big matchup with Shrewsbury on Wednesday, July 1st. So we've got plenty of games coming up as McGee ends up popping out on the infield.
Now batting number 6, the catcher, Nolan Murray.
Nolan Murray now up with the bases empty and 2 down. And he'll take that one off the backside. And pop out for McGee, actually out to shallow center field.
Now at the plate, number 20, center fielder, Ben Majorano. Pinch running is number 21, Adam DeBoer.
DeBowick will pinch run again here. We're actually a little delayed on our live stream as I doubted myself as I was putting that pop out for McGee in my scorecard. Well, there's a lot of business going on here under our canopy behind the backstop to bring you this live coverage. As Majorano sends this one out into shallow right center field. That's down for a base hit. DeBowick hits second base, continues on to third. An aggressive turn around first base for Majorano. Now scrambles back to the bag. The throw gets away, and that will allow DeBowick to come in from third base. Majorano will end up down at second anyway. And it's now a 7-0 lead for Post 59.
Plate number 2, second baseman, Sam Schoenberg.
So Biondo able to get the first 2 outs of the inning on pop-outs, but trouble started with the hit by pitch to Murray. And then Biondo with a single. Almost got caught too far off that first base bag, as now Schoenberg sends a grounder to second base, fielded there by Guzman. He'll flip to first base to get the out that retires the side. But another throwing error for Cherry Valley allows another run for Milford to score. They now take a 7-0 lead, as we will move on to the fourth inning when we return to Pheno Field next. It all comes to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma Broadcast Booth on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on Milford TV, that's presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Free raffle ticket. The winning number is 028177. Again, this is the purple ticket, 028177. Go to the concession stand and get your free meal. With Milford leading by a score of 7-0, leading off in Cherry Valley, number 23, Ramon Romero.
Ramon Romero leading things off in the top half of the fourth, sends a foul ball out of play that sent a few fans scrambling for cover as that came down in the bleachers behind the first base dugout. Brady Wajda, 52 pitches into his outing. The Milford starter has been in control, was a little bit shaky with the command in the first inning, allowed a couple of base runners, but was able to get out of it, and he's been very good ever since. Milford now with a 7-0 lead, 7 runs on 5 hits with no errors. Cherry Valley, no runs, 1 hit, 4 errors. As this ball is hit down the third base line and is just foul. Braden Lewis again showing a lot of range. He couldn't quite get to that ball, but fortunately it was ruled foul. As now this ball is hit hard out to left field. That is quickly over Pedroli's head, all the way to the fence. Romero digging for second base. He will get there with a stand-up double. Romero put a big charge into that ball.
Coming to the plate, number 11.
Off the bat, it was clear it was going to be over Pedroli's head. The only question was, would it be over that left field fence? It stayed in the yard, so it will be a leadoff double for Romero. And a runner in scoring position for Cherry Valley to pace this fourth inning. And now a ground ball deep in the hole at short. Off-balance throw for Joey McGee. Now the runner taking off for third, and Romero is out. Boy, a tricky play on the left side. That was a high-bounding ball. It was out of the reach of Lewis. McGee was able to cover a ton of ground to keep it on the infield. Could not get a lot on the throw to first base. There was no chance for them to get Lancette, but a heads-up throw from Burchard back across the diamond was able to get Romero, who got a little greedy trying to take third on the play, so he is cut down. It should go as an infield single for Andrew Lancette, who is now the lone base runner at first. with 1 out in the inning. A 1 pitch now, and that is going to get a piece of Matthew Alves. So he will head down to first base. Lancette down to second, so how big is that base running play at third? Could be the bases loaded and nobody out for Cherry Valley in this inning. Instead, it's runners at first and second with 1 down. And now Braden Biondo will stand in on the right side. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One ball and no strikes. Milford with a 7-0 lead. Cherry Valley trying to get on the board here in the 4th. Ground ball goes foul and brings the count to 1-1. And even 60 pitches now in the outing for Brady Wajda. As the pitch is sent foul out of play. As always, the kids around the ballpark very happy to track down those foul balls. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now on Biondo. And now the pitch off speed, and it tied up Biondo. He is down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. The 4th strikeout overall for Wajda. And there are now 2 outs in the inning, the runners remaining at first and second base. Now here is Patrick Shillelagh. Waves at an outside pitch for strike 1. Shillelagh grounded out to third base his first time up. Hesitation here for Wajda, now the 0-1. And that did not miss by much. Some groans out of the Post 59 fans as Wajda does not get the call. 1-1 now. Now lifts a foul ball off to the right side and out into the crowd. Once again, the concession stand here at Pheno Field locked and loaded with all kinds of delicious goodies. You could see the smoke from the grill going even prior to first pitch. So another great reason to head down here to Pheno Field. Meanwhile, Wajda drops in a beauty. It freezes Shillelagh. A called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. And Brady Wajda quickly able to extinguish the Cherry Valley rally. No runs on the board for Post 443. We move on to the home half of the 4th. Scoreboard unchanged, Milford 7 and Cherry Valley nothing here on Milford TV.
Milford Legion Baseball Club would like to recognize and thank our diamond partners: Italian American Veterans Post, Milford Police Association, Murphy Insurance Agency, Science Plus, Sons of Italy Dramatic Sportsman's Club, and Unibank. And for our blue corporate partners: Alfonso Real Estate, Honeydew Donuts, Emerald Irrigation, Easy Way Car Wash, Greater Milford Social Club, Garrier and Haldon, Massachusetts Real Estate Group, Alivas Market, Patriot Growth Insurance, formerly Bright Agency, Restaurant 45, and Whitensville Monument Works. And now for our Legion Baseball boosters. Area Glass, Puma Sargent Funeral Home, Citrus Got Real, Consigli Ruggiero Funeral Home, Crawford's Brewing, Edwards Funeral Home, James Moore DMD, John Mazzone Electric, Joliker Overhead Doors, New Human, Old Time Auto Body, Ostrander Insurance Agency, Paramount Industries, Flames Automotive, Rockland Trust, Shaw's Supermarket, Watson Funeral Home, Weston Nurseries, Worcester Red Sox, WPC, Pest and Termite Control. We thank you for your generous support to Milford Legion Baseball.
Leading off for Milford in the bottom of the fourth inning, number 13, left fielder, Nick Pedroli.
Our presenting sponsor of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. 2 years going strong with Rail Trail as our presenting sports partner. We had a tremendous 2025-2026 school year with Rail Trail in the lead, supporting local athletes and local sports here in the greater Milford area. We are so grateful for our partnership with Rail Trail. Had a chance to go over to the Milford Rail Trail with my wife earlier this week, and they had some absolutely outstanding specials on the menu in their Milford location, including street corn wings that were just absolutely to die for. If you have the opportunity, make sure you head over to Rail Trail while those specials are still in place. They also had a pizza roll special, which you really have to see to believe. They were coming out of that wood-fired oven with regularity, and every single one of them was looking absolutely mouth-watering delicious. So tons of reasons to check out our good friends over at Rail Trail Flatbread Company. As we begin this bottom of the fourth inning with a ringing single for Nick Pedroli back up the middle. And Pedroli out of this number 2 spot, red hot, 3 for 3, an infield single and 2 conventional singles. He's driven in 2 runs. He has the only RBIs in this game, as a lot of the damage on the scoreboard for Cherry Valley has been self-inflicted. They've committed 4 errors, and several of those have directly resulted, I should say, in runs scoring, helping Milford build up this 7-0 lead. They now have the leadoff man on in the bottom of the fourth, Braden Lewis at the plate, who jumps ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Lewis has also been on base each time he's come to the plate so far. He walked and scored in the first. He doubled and scored in the second. And now takes that ball on the chest. That had to hurt, as Lewis will head down to first base. And I should correct myself. Lewis also has an RBI in this game, as he collected it on a double in the second. And now reaches base for the 3rd time, much more painfully than the previous 2. That is the 4th hit batter that Milford has had in this game. Cherry Valley's pitching has been prone to wildness tonight, as now Fournier offers it the first pitch, sends it foul over the left field bleachers and out of play. Starting to feel a little bit cooler here at field level as the last bits of sun start to fade away. Enjoying some of the longest days of the year. Now it's 8:17, still daylight to be had. Always love these long days. The temperature still reading 82 degrees. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the left-hander, Jackson Fournier. As he sends this ball down the right field line, that is fair. It's going to roll down into the corner. It'll be 2 more runs for post 59 as Fournier hits second base. He's thinking 3, and they'll wave him all the way around. Now a late stop sign thrown up by Coach DeVito. Had eyes initially on a potential 3-run inside the park home run. Instead, Fournier will settle for a 2-run triple that now makes it 9-0 Milford. So there's 2 more RBIs for post 59. Second extra base hit of the night for Milford overall. Very nearly an inside the Parker. Now Fournier at third base, Josh Bouchard at the plate. Ready to see an 0-1 pitch, and that is in at the knees for strike 2. Bouchard singled in the first, then flew out to center field in the second. Now carves this ball out towards right field. The second baseman towards the foul line will make the catch. A bluff from third base for Fournier, but he will hold there.
Now at the plate, number 14, the first baseman, Sean Burchard.
And so the first out of the inning as Bouchard is retired. So now here is Sean Burchard. As Burchard all over that first pitch, but a little too eager as he sends it far and foul down the right side. That cleared the batting cage that they store over by the Milford bullpen area. No balls and 1 strike, 1 out and a runner on third base as the pitch misses high and outside. Good stab for Gerardo behind the plate. That keeps Fournier in place at third. Next one from Biondo is lifted in the air. Again out towards right field, now into foul territory. And Alves over there to make the catch. This time Fournier will tag and he will score. And so Sean Burchard will get an RBI on the sacrifice fly. Fournier crosses the plate with the 10th Milford run, so it is now 10-0 in favor of post 59 with the bases empty now and 2 outs in this bottom of the 4th. And now a third plate appearance for Joey McGee. McGee looking for his first hit of the day. One ball and 1 strike the count. And now a swing and a miss. Milford pounded out 16 runs on 11 hits in that win against Northborough on Monday. Joey McGee did not have a hit in that game. He did score a run as he reached base on a walk, so looking for his first hit overall on the season as he lifts this ball in the air out towards right field. Second baseman out, still tracking the ball, and he's able to make the catch as his cap flies off, but he stayed with it. Long run for Guzman, but he makes the catch for the out that ends the inning. But Milford saw their first 3 batters reach in this inning. All 3 came around to score. The big hit in the frame, the 2-run triple for Jackson Fournier. And now Milford leads Cherry Valley by a 10-0 margin as we move on to the 5th inning on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. First pitch of the top of the 5th inning for Brady Wajda misses for ball 1. Out for his 5th inning of work. And a 2-ball, no-strike count now. As Jacob Gerardo, the catcher, the number 9 man, leads off in the inning for Cherry Valley. Now takes a strike at the knees. So Milford now with 10 runs on 7 hits with no errors. Cherry Valley, no runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. Wajda pounds the zone again to bring the count even at 2. And now a wave and a miss. And Gerardo is down on strikes. 5th K for Wajda. And there's 1 down in the inning. Looking back at the game on Monday, Milford used 2 arms in the game against Northborough. As this pitch is sent in the air off the bat of Jeffrey Guzman out into shallow left field, and the catch is made as the shortstop came out, left fielder came in. There was a bit of a collision. Everyone seems to be okay as Joey McGee and Pedroli came together. McGee ended up making the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. It was Milford High School alumni Tyler Ballard back for one last Legion season, who got the start in the season opener. He pitched 3 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit on 7 strikeouts. As Jackson Lindsay finished off the final 2 innings, had 4 Ks. As meanwhile, Andrew Cloutier swings at the first pitch, pops it up to first base. The catch is made there, and it is a 1-2-3 top of the 5th inning. And with a 10-run lead past the top of the 5th, that will be the game here this evening. A mercy rule win, the 2nd mercy rule in a row for Post 59 to open up this 2026 season. Wajda wasting no time getting through that top half of the 5th inning. No drama whatsoever. 3 quick outs on a strikeout and 2 pop-ups as he finishes off a complete game 5-inning effort tonight, allowing just 3 hits on 5 strikeouts, and Wajda will pick up the victory as Milford wins here tonight against Cherry Valley by a final score of 10-0. So Milford will improve to 2-0 now on the young season. Cherry Valley drops their season debut, so they fall to 0-1. And so this team in good form right out of the gates. They'll have their next couple of games on the road. They will be next up against Northbridge Post 343 on Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, I should say, a 1 o'clock start time. And then they will head to Leominster on Sunday. A tough opponent in Post 151, a 4 p.m. first pitch on Sunday. Our next coverage of Milford Legion baseball here on Milford TV will come your way on Monday, June 15th, as Milford will play host to new District 4 team Vernon Hill Post 435 in a 7 p.m. first pitch. So that will be our next coverage live for you here on Milford TV. We will hope you will join us then. In the meantime, make sure you check out all of our coverage streaming over on YouTube. We had a lot of great Milford High School sports throughout the entire school year, but in particular through this past spring, including the very exciting postseason run for the Milford boys volleyball team, but we also covered some great boys and girls lacrosse matches, high school baseball and high school softball as well. All of that available for streaming anytime over on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss any live or on-demand Milford TV coverage. But again, that will wrap things up here from Pheno Field for this evening. A huge thank you to our Milford TV crew out in these very toasty conditions to bring you the coverage here tonight. Our director is Scott Crisafulli, and our camera operator is Patrick Garapi, and I am Tim Coette, bringing you the coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma Broadcast Booth. That final score, one final time, a 5-inning, 10-0 Mercy Rule win for Milford Post 59. This has been a presentation of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.